Well, there is much to be excited about, not only in this competition, the Basketball Champions League, but for both of these teams. Telenet Oostende had a rough start to life in the Basketball Champions League, but they started winning some games and breathed some life into their campaign. Now, game day 9 in Group D, we'll see this game as well as Sabona Megalex tonight. And then tomorrow we've got KK Mornar and Iberostar Tenerife and SIG Strasbourg against Citygas Avellino, which will be the game of the week. Strasbourg, another of those teams that has really turned things around this season. They had kind of a difficult start, but they've turned things around, and we're excited to see that one. But we're also excited to see this one because that Strasbourg team beat this Juventus Utena team last week, and they didn't just beat them, they beat them like a drum. They really sent out a message. And here are the standings now. Strasbourg climbing above Juventus Utena there into third place. Juventus Utena in fourth, and then as you look down the line, you've got Telenet Oostende at fifth, Megalex, Sabona, and KK Mornar. So Telenet Oostende at 4-4, Juventus Utena at 5-3, as well as Strasbourg 5-3, and you kind of get the idea why this is a massively important game. Telenet Oostende, what a recovery. They started out falling by a couple of points at KK Mornar in Bar. Then they fell at home to this Juventus Utena team by 10. They hit the road, went to France and lost to Strasbourg by 10. And then their season started to turn around. Now, Telenet Oostende, who do you want to look out for? Well, all the way from top to bottom. I mean, this is an exciting team. Walden is an exciting point guard. And Wema, number 9, Marco Kessels, Pierre-Antoine Gillette, number 12, a terrific shooter. All the way down that roster, I can highlight why each of these players is important to the call. Salumu, Kadic, Djordjevic, Kesselut, and DJ Newville. For Juventus Utena, well, the player that really stood out last week was number 44 down there near the bottom, Ovidius Galdikas, the big center. He really gave Strasbourg a hard time early on. Vitaltis Sulskis as well has been one of the standout players for this team that's coached by Antonis Sareka. Now, Sareka, for you basketball aficionados, you'll remember him because he used to coach Lithuania's national team. That's one of the reasons why you'll remember him. Sareka was the coach of the Lithuania team that won the Eurobasket title 13 years ago. That was in Sweden. And he also coached that team through the 2006 FIBA Basketball World Cup in Japan. Well, hello everybody. Good evening and welcome to Lithuania. We're in Utena and it's game day 9. It's Juventus Utena getting ready to face Telenet Oostende, the visitors from Belgium. And this Juventus Utena team has been a real story in the Basketball Champions League. And with 5 wins from their 8 games, they started out like a house on fire, winning their first 4 games before falling at home by 22, in fact, to Iberostar Tenerife. Then they hit the road and bounced right back and got a win at Megalex. They got a win at home over Sabona, and they have fallen then they won at KK Mornar. They fell at home to Citygas Avellino, and Big Carrillo Facinco was the MVP of the week after that performance. And SIG Strasbourg really laid the wood to this Juventus Utena team as well last week. So they are losers of 2 straight in the Basketball Champions League. And that has taken some of the shine off of what was a terrific, terrific season. But nevertheless, now is the time to bounce back. And look at the 16-year-old coming out. He's a youngster, but he's got a lot of ability. Ugnius Nicotinas, is the 16-year-old playing for this Juventus Utena team. So maybe we'll see him get into the game tonight. So they've got a 16-year-old, and then they've got a guy who's 33, Sarudavicius, who's 33. So he's more than twice his age. And you saw Sareka there, the coach of this Juventus Utena team. Valdis Vasilius as well is 33 years of age. Well, as we go through the pregame rituals here at Juventus Utena, let me tell you that Telenet Oostende, after having their difficult start to the season, remember they lost their first 3 games, they rebounded with a win at Citigas Avelino. The referees tonight, Alexander Glisic, Alexei Davidov, and Wojciech Liszka from Serbia, Russia, and Poland. Following that, Telenet Oostende won in Belgium over Iberostar Tenerife, and that was really a message win, beating one of the top teams in the competition to that point, winning by 4, 66-62. And there's Rasko Katic. Excuse me, that is not Rasko Katic. I'll show you. That's Vidas Chepakaitis, averaging 12 points and 5.6 rebounds. Oostende lost a little bit of their momentum when they fell 76-70 at Megalex, but they've won their last 2 games 82-70 over Sabona and then 80-60 over KK Mornar. And remember, all of these teams gunning for a top 4 finish, and right now they're in 5th. It may be that a 5th place finish would be good enough to advance to the playoffs, but we will know more about that later on. There will be some 5th place teams that do progress to the playoffs. So the starting 5 will be Gillet, Katic, Djordjevic, Keselut, and DJ Nubil for Telenet Oostende. Dario Gajurgia is the coach of this Oostende team. Diggs, Sarudavicius, Chepakaitis, Vasilius, and Suskis are in the starting lineup for Juventus Utena. And there is Sareka, who we've talked about. And Katic has played for Serbia's national team, 12.5 points, 4.4 rebounds this season for Oostende. And the fans ready for the start of this game. Now, real quickly, just a little bit about this competition as we get another look at the refs and the players. The regular season has 5 groups of 8 teams playing 280 games. Now, they're all gunning for the playoffs. And 24 teams will advance to the playoffs, the 4 top teams from each group and the 4 best-ranked 5th place teams. So even if you finish 5th, there's a very good chance that you will progress. So both of these teams right now are in the reckoning. It's probably the best way to put it. We're just just past the midway stage. This is game day 9, and we're about ready to tip things off here in Utena, Lithuania. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Utena, Lithuania. It is the Basketball Champions League Game Day 9 clash between Juventus Utena and Telenet Oostende. And Telenet Oostende wearing the dark uniforms, attacking the basket to the left, and it's going to be Gillet who puts one up from the corner and misses. These teams right next to each other in the standings. Well, Juventus Utena in white in 4th place at 5-3. And Oostende at 4-4 now, and the pass goes out of bounds to Sarudavicius, and they're going to talk about it, and the ball goes. The rule has changed. At first, it looked like DJ Newbill had forced the turnover, but I think they have said that it was off of Newbill. So Anthony Soreka, what a great job he's done, but he's got to reverse the trend. And right now, they're getting a couple of good looks. Kesselut picks up the foul. Belgian international. Kesselut, one of the youngsters in this team, and he's going up against one of the real surprise packages, Šulskis, in this competition. And Šulskis makes the first one. And the second one is good as well, so an early lead for Juventus Utena. Kesselut, and a foul down low called on Chepakaitis. There's Šulskis. There was a poll running on the Basketball Champions League website. And it had, you name the revelation of the season so far, and Šulskis was one of the players mentioned in that poll. Djordjevic misses, but getting the rebound inside was Katic. Now Gillet drives in, and he missed the layup with the left hand. He'll be upset with himself for that one. Now Vasilius backs up Gillet. Puts it up with the left hand and bricks it, and Gillet with the rebound. Gillet, another of the Belgian internationals in this team, so he will be at the Eurobasket if Coach Eddie Castiles selects him, which I think he probably will. And Roscoe Katic misses with the short jump hook. Now Diggs brings it back, and Diggs finds a little bit of space, misses the three. Kesselut with the rebound and hands it off to Djordjevic. Now Djordjevic is tripped up by Sarudavicius. And the veteran Sarudavicius, number 33, picks up Djordjevic. Nearly 2 minutes into the contest. Well, folks, for all the Basketball Champions League action, if you want to watch any of the games, go to livebasketball.tv. And that's where you can watch them live, but you can also watch them on replay. And nice reverse layup by DJ Newbill. And that knots it at 2. Now Sarudavicius drives in, and Sarudavicius misses, but Chepakaitis is able to get the rebound, and then he misses with the putback. Now Newbill. And now Newbill, a little bit of a misread. Djordjevic was breaking in, and Newbill threw it out of bounds. Vasilius fakes the handoff. Now he's going to go right at Gillet. He's going to put up a little lefty, misses, but gets the ball back and saves the ball back into Diggs. Oostende perhaps guilty of standing around a little bit right now, giving away another offensive rebound. And if at first you don't succeed, then try again, and he certainly does. Vasilius scores with a short jump hook. Djordjevic looks off the pass, and they allow him to go right down the lane. Newbill commits the foul out on the arc. Get the feeling these two teams are filling each other out right now, even though they have played each other earlier in the season. And that game was won by Juventus Utena. Srudovicius puts up a three, and that's more like it for the home team. So he knocks down his first three. And now Djordjevic has it and gives it to Rasko Katic, and Chepakaitis commits the foul. Well, Srudovicius came into this game shooting 41.4% from three-point range. He had hit 12 of 29, so not really a player that you want to leave open. Ovidius Galdikas comes into the game, and you'd probably argue a nice drive from Newbill, and cuts that deficit to 1. Srudovicius looks off the defender and hands it off to Galdikas, who's like, welcome to the game, Ovidius. Have this for your first 2 points. Newbill gets in the lane, and boy, he bricked that one from mid-range. Ball goes back over to the home side. And Rasko Katic called for the foul. That was a nice bounce pass. And Srudovicius again drives in and scores off 1 foot. If I was Coach Gerga, I would be a little bit concerned here defensively with Oostende, giving up some easy looks and almost a turnover. They seem to be sleepwalking a little bit through this first quarter. Telenet Oostende and Juventus Utena taking advantage. Now Gillet puts up a three, it's good. And just like that, it's a 2-point game. I don't think people realize how good Gillet is, but he is got a soft release. And now the 3-point shot, Srudovicius fouled by Newbill out on the arc, or from behind the arc, so he will get 3 shots. So Newbill picks up his second foul and has to go to the bench, and that brings the Belgian veteran, another Belgian international, Jean-Marc Mwema, into the game. And first one is good. The second one is good as well. Definitely do not want to foul the jump shooter. And if that's not definitive enough, you definitely don't want to foul the 3-point shooter, although we have seen that more and more. And in basketball, he makes all 3 free throws and takes it back to a 5-point lead. Šilskas is trying to check back into the game. Well, Mwema's only played 3 games so far in the Basketball Champions League. He's played pretty good minutes, but he has yet to score. And here he is. He's got the ball. He joined him a few weeks ago. And now Gillet drives in and has the shot blocked or altered by Galdikas. Now it's Rudovicius. Bumped up top. Parker into the game, number 1. Passes over to Diggs, and Gillet commits the foul. That is number 4 on Telenet Oostende. I'm pretty sure that Oostende will be happy to see Rudovicius going to the sideline because he's been very influential. And Diggs makes the first one. In fact, the signing of Mwema at Telenet Oostende was on November 10th. So Diggs makes that, and already the free throw line becoming a factor. 7 of 7 for Juventus Utena. Kesselou gets it over to Gillet for 3. Good! Boy, there's nothing like a three-point shooter that can get you right back into the game. And Gillet is looking pretty comfortable over there in that right corner. I'd be surprised if he doesn't have a hand in the face the next time he tries to launch one. So Oostende have committed their 5 fouls, so Juventus Utena will be shooting free throws now every time they're fouled. And good defense that time on Galdikas. Now Mwema gets it up top. They get it to Gillet. Bounce pass to Kadic. Kadic puts the ball down, gets inside, puts it up. Oh, it doesn't go, but he earns a trip to the free throw line. Boy, you got to love Kadic. I mean, he is the kind of guy that goes to work every day. Galdikas, his first foul. And Marko Kesselj comes into the game as well, the Serbia international boy. He's hit a lot of big shots in his career for Serbia. Kesselj goes to the bench. Now, Kadic is the kind of guy you're like, okay, he's off to work. You give him the lunch pail, the hard hat, and you know he is going to go out there and battle whoever he goes up against. He's a real worker. Well, checking into the game, number 24, Rolandas Jakstas, the 24-year-old forward, the Lithuanian forward. And alley-oop pass, and Galdikas missed it, but then he follows it up and puts it back. He just wanted to get another rebound, folks. Let's be honest. Takes it back to a 5-point lead now. Djordjevic over to Kesselj, right off the bench, knocks down the 3. Boy, we've got some great memories of Marko Kesselj knocking down some jump shots. 2010 FIBA Basketball World Cup comes to mind, playing for that Serbia team that made it all the way to the semifinals. And now the alley-oop pass to Galdikas again. And he is fouled and earns a trip to the line. Look at that. So a couple times now they've tried to get the alley-oop pass, or they have gotten the alley-oop pass to Galdikas, and that is becoming a problem, obviously, for Oostende, with especially Gillet picking up his 2nd foul. That's why that cheap one earlier, a few minutes ago, is not the type of foul you want to give away out on the perimeter, because now he's got 2 fouls. So the free throws take it back to a 4-point lead. And you can't stress enough, as Corey Walden comes in, the American point guard, you can't stress enough how vital the free throw game is. Also coming in Let's see. Now, inside, Katic puts it up off the glass and in. Oh, both these teams putting the points on the board here early on. Now the pass, the dump down low, out to Šulskas, wide open. Textbook. Bičkauskas is in the game, number 2. He made that pass, and now he goes over and takes a seat. So the three-point shot, and right now defensively, this Oostende team is at 6s and 7s. Listen to the coach. The three-point shooting is good for both teams, but those threes are wide open looks. And the only time it hasn't been wide open was when Sarudavicius was taking a 3 and he got fouled by Newbill, and he went to the line and made all 3. Here's Sarudavicius there with the towel, the blonde hair. He had a great start. And again, you know, we've seen it so many times in this competition alone this season. This is the first year of the Basketball Champions League. The free throw game is just vital. And there's Gytis Sarudavicius, 8 points. And he has that three-pointer, and he also made 3 free throws. And Wayma inbounds it to Walden. Sells over to Walden. Sells into Katic just behind the free throw line, and he makes it. So nice stroke there from the big fella. Long 3, no good from Bičkauskas. Keselj. And another foul called on this one on Jakšić as Marko Jagadić Kurica tried to back his way in there. And he goes to the line. And the first one is good. Kurica misses the second, so Oostende struggling from the line early, and Juventus Utena are not, and almost. I'll tell you, Mwema needs to be careful on that foul. I've seen that, something close to that being called unsportsmanlike. So Šulskas is at the line. And finally, Juventus Utena miss a free throw. I was just about ready to talk about how consistent this player has been. And then he interrupted the consistency of his team at the free throw line. He's going to come out. Sarudavicius is going to come back in. Šulskas is, I'll tell you, he's had a lot of double-digit games. He only had 8 points last week against Strasbourg. But the
free throw line is one area where he really struggles, shooting 55.6%. Now Kaczkauskas out on Corey Walden. Walden with the shot clock winding down, and Walden gets it to Katic, and Katic kind of lost the ball as he went up. Parker. Yaxtis. Oh, nice release from the young man, Yaxtis. 5-point lead. On the low block again, see if Katic goes at Galdigas. Looks like he might. And shot clock violation. So that was it at the end of the first quarter. Don't even get a shot off. 26-21, Juventus Utena on top. Well, 26-21, Juventus Utena, that 10 of 11 free throw line at the line really is big right now. And worryingly for Oostende, they're Juventus Utena out rebounding them 11-6. You see Šareka talking in Lithuania, and Parker looking on from the side, talking in Lithuanian. Here's the first points for Newville and for Telenet Oostende. And then that was the foul that was called when Srudovic went up. Excuse me, that was not the foul. Here was, again, another look at that play where Newville drove in, put the ball up, and scored with a high degree of difficulty. And Galdigas then came off the bench and scored there for Juventus Utena. And Srudovic is probably the MVP in that first quarter, the way he got Juventus Utena off and running. Chile has hit a couple of three-pointers. And right now, it's more of a case of important free throws being made by Juventus Utena, and perhaps Telenet Oostende being their own worst enemy. You can see that Pierre-Antoine Gillette there with 6 points and has hit 2 of his 3 shots from the arc. Oh, nice anticipation there from Mwema. And he goes in for the dunk and draws the foul. I'll tell you what, I was thinking, is he going to pass? Is he going to pass? And no, he doesn't. He takes it all the way. And what a nice way to get your first 2 points in the Basketball Champions League. Not only are the points important, but you kind of send a message here at the start of the second quarter that you're ready to roll. And Mwema fouls out on the perimeter as Srudovic drives. And I'll tell you what, if they can get more defensive plays like that from Mwema, they'll take them. He now has 2 fouls, however. Fouls becoming an issue for he and Newville, as well as Gillette. And to Galdigas, who unselfishly makes the pass to Yaxtis. And Yaxtis earns a trip to the free throw line. Puchiku called for the foul. Bukichu just into the game. And Yaxtis with the follow through but misses.
I'll tell you, these Lithuanian teams have really raised eyebrows in the Basketball Champions League. Neptūnas Klaipėda last week. They've been winning games all season long, and Jakstas makes the second one to take it back to a 3-point lead. And Walden almost fumbled the ball out of bounds. Bičkauskas guarding him. Bukicu puts it up off the back of the rim. Kessels was challenging for the rebound, couldn't get it. Now into the hands of Bičkauskas, and the ball goes off of Galdikas. And you can see that Juventus Utena think they can attack down low every trip down the floor because they're going inside to the big fella. Diggs comes back into the game for Juventus Utena. And Bičkauskas takes the seat, but good minutes from Bičkauskas. Now Kessel's trying to post up on Parker, and then he takes it, puts up a three, off the rim, and then off of the hands of Jakstas and out of bounds. So a break for the visitors. And pensive looks from the fans. Čepakaitis comes back in for Galdikas. So Galdikas, the veteran, goes out. And Wayman inbounds it to Walden. Into the corner, and Kurica clangs it off the rim. See the three-point shooting for both teams. Now Parker powers his way inside. Well, he said, "You can let me come in from the right side, I'll do it. Watch this. I'll go baseline on you." Back to a 5-point lead. Kessels had a look, but gets it inside to Kurica. Walden, shot clock winding down, puts up the jumper, and nice big strong rebound from Bukicu. And Kurica fouled by Jakstas. Šareka right now giving his players, veterans, a good breather as Jakstas now comes out and Vasilius comes back in. So you'll want to watch Kurica and Vasilius. That'll be interesting to see. And the pass inside was intercepted, so good read by Čepakaitis, and then Srudovicius goes in and kind of lackadaisically misses the layup. And then he was fouled by Bukicu as he went out to get a hand in the face, took the pump fake, and Srudovicius, if he had attempted the shot, he might have gotten another 3 free throws, but instead he put the ball on the deck and just drew the foul. That's 3 fouls now on Telenet Oostende here in the second quarter. Diggs guarded closely by Walden. Now he's going to go in and he's going to pass it to Vasilius, and Vasilius immediately upon his return to the game scores in the paint, and now it's a 7-point lead. Mwema puts up a 3. And you can see Gerga not happy over there on the Telenet Oostende sideline. Diggs, Vasilius puts it on the deck. Srudovicius drives in, gets blocked by Mwema. Another terrific play defensively by Mwema. Now Walden explodes and draws the foul. He will go to the line for and 1. Boy, Mwema has made a couple of plays tonight that are just show his value to the team. Gets the steal, and this time makes the pass to Walden. And Walden was able to keep his balance and make the shot after the slightest of contact by Diggs. Diggs says, "I didn't foul him." Diggs goes to the bench, and we've got timeout on the floor. So great game so far, folks. Game day 9. 8 assists now for Juventus Utena. Telenet Oostende with 6. Walden will be going back to the line. Just as a reminder, you can watch all the Basketball Champions League games on livebasketball.tv, wherever you are in the world, folks. Just log in. See the fast break points, 4 for Telenet Oostende and 2 for Juventus Utena, and Wema involved in both of those for Telenet Oostende. Walden is at the line trying to convert the three-point play. Misses. So they fail to take advantage, and again, another missed free throw. Chepakaitis hands it off to Šulskas. Šulskas tries to get it back to Chepakaitis. And good hands from Telenet Oostende. I'll tell you what, folks, this day and age, you need to go deep to your rosters. For a myriad of reasons. And nice alley-oop pass inside to Chepakaitis. And that is where, in all honesty, Telenet Oostende have been vulnerable. Inside, they've given away some easy ones. Kessel drives in, has the ball stolen by Chepakaitis, digs, hands it off, and Vasilius goes in, misses, but again, Chepakaitis follows, gets his own rebound off his own miss and passes it back outside. Now Šulskas for 3. And Walden gets it, but then loses it. And then the game's getting crazy, folks. And Gillet ends up within the corner. Kessels has it, gets it inside to Bukicu. Out to Walden for 3. And off the rim, Walden gets it back. Boy, the pace is frenetic. Bukicu has it. He gets it over to Mwema. Quick pass to Gillet on the baseline, and again misses it. Bukicu kept it alive, and Walden went up. There was contact, no foul. Diggs puts up a 3. And what a crazy game, and Chepakaitis follows and gets another 2, and that's where he's been the MVP the last couple of trips down the floor. Chepakaitis now with 4 points off putbacks, and Juventus Utena, with a game that's picking up the pace, have now a 9-point lead. Look at this. Nobody boxes out Chepakaitis, who just goes right down the lane and scores. And the risk there by Bukicu is that you could trigger a break, which is in fact what happened. Let's hear from Gerga. So back to live action, and DJ Newbill back in the game. Makes the pass inside, but it's turned over. He was trying to find Kesselut going baseline, but Schulskes was there and read the pass. Dangerous time now for Telenet Oostende. And this time, good play from Walden. And it's going to be Kesselut who goes in for the two-handed flush. So this Telenet Oostende team have kind of been reeling a couple times, and their defense has bailed them out. And that time, Kesselut was able to get to two. Now Schulskes gets it over to Vasilius. They give away the drive, and Vasilius misses, gets his rebound, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Boy, they are really getting what they want on the offensive glass. It was good play by Walden to challenge Diggs, and Kesselut then goes in. I tell you what, those Oostende players, they don't pass on the break, do they? They just take it to the rack. And this time Diggs fouled in the paint, and Gerga's upset. Well, you can see what he's saying. He felt like it was an offensive foul. Second one is good. Now the drive, and Walden goes in and again takes the bump and earns a trip to the free throw line. Now let's see this time if he can make it. Djordjevic has been sitting a long time. He comes back into the game, so now they've got a couple of playmakers out there with Walden and Djordjevic. And he does indeed convert the opportunity. Now Galdikas is going to come back in for Chepakaitis, who's been terrific. Spin move, drive, puts it up with the left hand, and it's good. So nice drive from Aaron Best coming into the game. He had some good plays last week against Strasbourg as well. A late entry into this game. Now Djordjevic. Oostende down 8. Inside, and Bugaju goes up, and another chance for a three-point play, and Galdikas can't believe it. So frustrating game so far for Galdikas. He picks up his second foul. He's got 6 points, but hasn't been as influential as he was last week, at least in the first half last week. And Bugaju doesn't sink the free throw. Look at that, 4 of 8 at the line for Telenet Oostende, 13 of 15 for Juventus Utena. Now Vasilius drives in, puts it up, and Galdikas there gets the rebound. Boy, those offensive rebounds. And now the turnover into the hands of Walden. He's going to go right at Schulskes and cut it back to a 4-point lead. Boy, the points off turnovers for Telenet Oostende, a big part of this game, is keeping them in there. Diggs reverses, now gets it over to Best for 3, and he was short. And now Vasilius from behind fouls Djordjevic. Yaxtis is going to check back into the game. The team, Juventus Utena, they've been on top, but they haven't been able to press home the advantage, and now they're only up 4, and Telenet Oostende have the ball, and they're at the line because that was the 5th foul on Juventus Utena in this quarter. And Djordjevic, see Srudovicius over there on the sideline. This Juventus Utena team trying to snap a 2-game losing streak in the Basketball Champions League. And they're going up against a Telenet Oostende team that's been hot. And the drive and the basket is good from Šulskis. Boy, 10 offensive rebounds for Juventus Utena, just a couple for Telenet Oostende. Djordjevic and Bukicu trying to post up, and he does, and he gets the foul called on Yaxtas. So now Bukicu has to go to the line again, where he struggled on his previous trip. Here's another look trying to post up. Now Bukicu came into this shooting just 50% at the free throw line. 5 of 10 on the line on the season. And we've got another timeout. Let's listen into the coaches. Well, we've talked about the free throws. Those are on the left, and far superior Juventus Utena, and the field goal percentage for both teams. Telenet Oostende, well, they've got one more make, and off just 27 attempts, so they're shooting better than 50%. Points in the paint is even. Pretty even game overall, with the exception of the rebounds and the free throws, which have gone in favor of the home side. That was best getting inside, scoring. And there's Šulskis, who just continues to impress in this competition this year. What a great competition the Basketball Champions League has been. We expected it to be good, and I dare say it's almost surpassed expectations. It's been really, really good. A lot of people talking about it all over the old continent. And Bukicu now at the line and makes the first one. And it's great. I mean, you've got a team from Belgium taking on a team from Lithuania in Lithuania. And that's one of the great things about it, is you've got teams all over the old continent and all countries with a chance, with their eyes on the prize. Well, Bukicu. Look at you, Bukicu. You've made a couple of free throws, and you've cut the deficit to 2. And Kesselut now commits the foul, and that will put Šulskis on the line. Well, you got to defend without committing the foul. Now, Šulskis, if you're going to foul anybody, this is the man you want to foul. For some reason, he's got the yips at the free throw line this season, and he makes that one. But it has been an area where he has struggled, perhaps the only area all season. 2 fouls on Kesselut, and he only makes 1 of 2. So true to form, right? A 50s free throw shooter. Šulskis makes just 1 of 2. Well, how's this final 2 minutes of the first half going to finish? Telenet Oostende have done a good job of hanging tough. Djordjevic tried to get into the lane to make the pass, but he lost his footing. Now Diggs drives in, hands it off, and Šulskis scores. And Gerga not happy with his defense there. You had the turnover, and it led to the easy basket. 9 points for Šulskis. The drive inside to Bukicu, and nice pass again from Walden, who's really done a nice job off the bench tonight. He's been impressive the other times that I've seen him play. Now he's guarding Diggs. Maybe he'll get another pick. It's a 3-point game for the home side. Juventus Utena. Šulskis drives in, puts it up. Oh, what a terrific game now. He is really starting to get it going. He's got 11 points. And he's even talking to the ref saying, I got pushed, you got to call it. It's back to a 5-point lead now. Djordjevic over to Walden. He's like, I'm going to get it over to Gillet. And Gillet misses from 3 from deep. And Juventus Utena, who were only up 2, now have a 5-point lead, trying to extend it. And Aaron Best, well, he got into the lane. His left foot kind of slipped. He says he didn't move his pivot, but the referee said he traveled. (46-41), Juventus Utena on top. About a 5-second differential in the game clock and the shot clock. So Telenet Oostende, will they take the first available look, or will they hold on to it and take it all the way down to the finish? And now Djordjevic faces a little bit of a double team there. Walden's going to launch one with about 5 on the shot clock. Katic battles for the board, and they've got just enough time to get a shot off here. 3 seconds, they get it, and the turnover. So Katic puts it up in midcourt, but after the buzzer. So a little bit of frustration there for both teams as the end of the first half arrives. It's Juventus Utena on top 46-41 here in the Game Day 9 matchup of the Basketball Champions League. Well, both teams with 15 makes inside the arc. Oostende with 1 more from 3, but the free throw line has been a big factor. 6 more made free throws for Juventus Utena. And look at the rebounding. I mean, that is astounding. 26-10. They are murdering Telenet Oostende on the boards. It's hard to believe they don't have a bigger lead with that hegemony on the boards. 8 Juventus Utena turnovers and 1 block apiece. And Telenet Oostende have been able to turn some of those turnovers into points, and that's helped them stay in the game. Shulskis has a game-high 13 points at halftime. Chepikaitis, well, he's been terrific, hasn't he? He's got 3 steals, he's got 6 rebounds, and he's also, you know, turned some of those rebounds on the offensive end into points for Juventus Utena. Well, it's been a great first half. You be sure to be around here for the start of the second half. It's Juventus Utena on top of Telenet Oostende 46-41 at the break. 46-41, Juventus Utena on top of Telenet Oostende. Boy, what a game we've got for you. Look at that rebounding stat, though. I'm astounded by it. Down at the bottom, 26-10 in favor of Juventus Utena. 11 offensive rebounds, yet they only lead by 5 points. And you know that Telenet Oostende, surely they're not going to be out-rebounded this badly. Maybe they'll turn that around, and maybe that'll change their fortunes. But certainly there's only been one team that's been crashing the board so far, and it's been the team in white. Well, coming into this contest, you know, Juventus Utena averaging 36.5 rebounds per game, and Telenet Oostende averaging 35.5 offensive rebounds, almost exactly the same. 10 offensive rebounds per game for Juventus Utena, 9.9 for Telenet Oostende. So certainly that'll be an area of concern for Oostende. Corey Walton's been terrific coming off the bench, 7 points, 3 of 5 from the floor, a couple of rebounds. And Dario Georgia is glad that he's got him in his team, because he was doing a good job not only getting out of the break, but making those tough acrobatic layups and getting to the free throw line. He had a couple of chances for three-point plays. But what about Šulskis? Just continues to produce in this competition. Maybe one of the best known players you'd never heard of before this season in the Basketball Champions League. And he's just a handful. He gets it inside, he puts it up, he reads the defense, he knocks down jump shots. And he's just a very clever player. The only thing he doesn't do that great, that well, is shoot free throws. Well, folks, we're at halftime, and Juventus Utena about ready to ratchet it up again here as they try to snap this 2-game losing streak. There's Coach Georgia calling out the last-minute instructions. And Coach Antonis Sareka wondering if his team is going to snap out of its little Basketball Champions League funk that it finds itself in. But welcome back to Utena, Lithuania. Second half underway here between Juventus Utena and Telenet Oostende. And what a play. I'm not sure that's how Marco Kessel's expected to go strong, but it looked like he lost his balance. And he's such a good shooter that he was able to throw it high off the backboard, and it went in. And now Diggs' pass to Srudovicius almost was thrown away. And Wayma chases it down. Now he's got a hand in the face, and he puts up the hand and affects the shot. And now Djordjevic has it in the open floor, passes it over to Kessel inside to Kadic. Now inside to Kadic, and Kadic gets blocked by Galdikas. And Kessel commits the foul mid-break to stop the fast break. And quite frankly, it seems like Kadic should have done better in that lower position. Kessels picks up the first foul for Telenet Oostende. And remembering how they've capitalized on their opportunities at the free throw line, you know, you don't want to start putting this Juventus Utena team back at the charity stripe. Here's Šulskis again, drives in and draws the foul. So sure enough, they will go to the line with perhaps the only consolation is that it's Šulskis. Kadic says, why didn't you call the foul at the other end? The ref says, because there was no foul, big fella. There's Gillet. In fact, it was Gillet picks up his third foul, and that is not a good development. Šulskis gets the first one to go down. But makes just one of two. It really is a psychological thing, the free throws, isn't it, for some players?
Djordjevic dribbles between his legs. Casells looks for space, gets it back to Djordjevic. They've got all their players out behind the arc, and Kadic battling Galdigas down low, and Galdigas picks up the foul. Galdigas just hasn't been the factor tonight. 3 fouls, 6 points. He was a big factor last week. And Casells saves that ball from going out of bounds. Kadic puts it up on the baseline. Well, I'm pretty sure that Juventus Utena are going to give that away. If that's, they'll settle for that. Now the pass inside to Vasilius. Djordjevic battles. The ball goes off of Vasilius. And goes back over to Telenet Oostende. Nine turnovers now for Juventus Utena, 6 for Oostende and Weimar. Now Kadic faces the double team, and Weimar has it over to Gillet, doesn't catch it cleanly. Now to Casells. Casells puts it up and drills it. Well, he's a great shooter. Now it's back to a 2-point game. 7 points for Casells. Diggs drives in, out to Vasilius. Vasilius at the line, that's short. Oh, and Kadic, they just simply struggle to get the ball, to get those missed shots. Seems like Juventus Utena are going to beat him to every offensive rebound, or every rebound. He missed it so badly, and Galdigas was alert and went up there with both paws and brought that ball down. That's now 2 fouls on Kadic. Now Galdigas misses his first attempt. There's Chepakaitis, who was so impressive coming off the bench. Galdigas makes the second. And he comes in, Chepakaitis, for Galdigas. Three-point game in favor of the hosts. Kadic, is he going to go to work? He's going to hand it off to Casells, and then Casells throws it away. And Chepakaitis was there making life miserable for him. Then Weimar steps in and gets another steal. So marking Weimar. Casells looked at the three. Šulskis extending the D. Now Kadic, Chepakaitis. You need to go inside, Telenet Oostende. You gotta try to get the rebound. And now a technical foul has been called on Georgia. He was asking, what's that, what's that? And then he demonstrates over there on the sidelines, and the referee thought he was showing him up. So Srudovicius goes to the line and misses the free throw. Diggs calls the play. Chepakaitis with the pick. Now he's going to come back at the line. Tries to pick Casells. And now Diggs hands it off to Chepakaitis. Vasilius just inside the arc. And Kadic was able to keep the ball away from Chepakaitis. And Weimar knocks it over to Djordjevic, who brings it across midcourt. Now he's at the line, gets in the lane. And the bounce pass to Kadic. And Kadic this time goes up and scores. And even Antonis Šareka nods as if to say, hey, that was a well-constructed play. And Djordjevic with the foul. So Diggs comes out. Bichkauskas comes back into the game. Cashel comes out on Shulskas, drives in, and the long shot, the miss, and now Telenet Oostende with an opportunity to get the rebound as to take the lead as Cashel brings it across. Now he's going to put it up and doesn't get it to go down. Vasilis with the rebound. And, oh, what a play from Sirudovicius. Well, that's a 5-point swing. Sirudovicius with the three after the miss from Cashel. Now Djordjevic drives in and throws it away. And Georgia's going to get a timeout, the next dead ball. Vasilius goes baseline and lays it up and in. And Oostende were with an opportunity to take the lead, now find themselves down. And look at Shulskas quickly pushing the ball up to Sirudovicius after the miss by Cashel, and this is what happens. And then Vasilius just goes baseline, and Gillet with the 3 fouls already wasn't going to do anything there. Juventus Utena.
Let's go from a regular course, side of 4 fouls, and go side to side, okay? Jamar, course, regular side of 4. Here, dribble, ball, here, DJ, dribble, second. One side, you play.
Juventus Utena now missed a few free throws. Newville back in the game. And fortunate that time that did not commit the turnover. So Djordjevic takes the inbounds pass. Over to Mwema for 3. Good! Nope, he had his foot on the line. That was a 2. But boy, it's been an impressive display from Mwema tonight. The numbers don't show the magnitude of his impact. Defensively, really is where he's really been tough. Vasilius and turns it over. Now Newville has it on the break. And he's going to drive all the way and score. And just like that, it's a 2-point game, and that was a determined move by Newville in the open floor. Bichkauskas, Newville reaches in and commits the foul. That is number 5 on Telenet Oostende. So Bichkauskas will go to the free throw line with 3:44 remaining in the third quarter. Foul number 5 in the third quarter. And Parker going to come back in the game. 4 fouls now on Newville. Bichkauskas sinks the first. It's been a tight game from the start. Second one is good as well. Well, Katic open for the jumper, and the ball bounces over the backboard. Bichkauskas guarded by Walden. Schulzkes drives in with the left hand and misses, but guess who's there? Chepakaitis for the offensive rebound, but then loses it. But then Kuridza couldn't pick up the loose ball, and it goes out of bounds. Chepakaitis. Gotta like the work he's done on the boards tonight, and the pass inside is good for Sarudovicius. Newbill then turns it over, hands it off to Sarudovicius, who lays it up and in. Boy, that was very sloppy ball handling by Newbill out on the perimeter. Eleven fast break points now for Juventus Utena. Katic over to Mwema. And he takes the pump fake and will earn a trip to the line. Boy, Mwema has bailed out Oostende on so many occasions. He just makes a play that keeps him in it. Great play by Schulzkes. Hands it off to Sarudovicius. And Mwema makes the first. And the second is good as well. Boy, the experience of Mwema is huge in this game. Oostende winners of 4 of their last 5 games, and now the offensive foul turns it back over to Telenet Oostende. The foul on Chepakaitis. So foul number 4 on Chepakaitis, and Vasilius back in here with 2:15 remaining in the third quarter. So that distinct size advantage isn't there right now for the home team, with both big men on the bench. Now Katic, is he going to try to take advantage? He goes right at Vasilius and misses. Nobody there pounding the offensive glass for Telenet Oostende. Bichkauskas guarded by Mwema. 5 on the shot clock, bounce pass, gets it into Vasilius, and he gets swatted by Mwema, who just is about as good as they come defensively, folks. He has been terrific. Look at this, goes straight up and says, this isn't my house, but I'm gonna tell you what, this isn't going in this house. And now you have Vasilius though, and he answers with a 3-pointer. What a big play, what a big turnaround. Vasilius takes it up to a 9-point lead. Now the turnover. Bichkauskas bounce pass to Sarudovicius, and Sarudovicius couldn't pick it up. And right now, Telenet Oostende flirting with disaster. How this game is just getting away from him. Vukic is going to come into the game, and Katic is going to take a seat. And you get the distinct impression that Coach George is not happy with his center. Perhaps a little bit too quick with the offense. Now Vukic back out to Georgia. Inside it goes, and nice play by Kuridza. Vukic was there for the follow if it didn't go in, but Kuridza made the shot. So he's got 3 points. It's back to a 7-point deficit. And now the turnover again.
And Djordjevic goes behind the back. Oh, then he hands it off to Srudovicius. Great hustle from the veteran to get back and play defense. Well, Djordjevic can't believe he turned the ball over in that situation. Should have been 2 points. Now Bichkauskas into Vasilius, who steps back. He just hit 1-3. Will it be 2? Yes, it will! Vasilius has hit 2 huge three-pointers here in the third quarter, and the lead has grown to 10 points for Juventus Utena. Bichkauskas fouls out on the perimeter. They had one to give, so no problem there. Smart play. We're taking nothing away from Juventus Utena because they've made some plays today, but also Telenet Oostende have done some things that have just allowed or that have helped this home team. They've been their own worst enemy. Now they are going to look at something here on the replay. And remember, Cashel had the chance to take the lead. And he missed it. Well, over to Djordjevic, who launches a three and misses. So coming out there of the break, and Juventus Utena leading it 65-55, 10 minutes away from snapping that 2-game losing streak in the Basketball Champions League. And as a reminder, it's a vital game with Juventus Utena on top. They are in 4th place right now. Telenet Oostende are in 5th place at 4-4. Juventus Utena at 5-3. So rebounding still decidedly in the favor of Juventus Utena. This was Cashel down low early, scoring that crazy shot that went right up off the top of the backboard. And that was a hustle play that went off of Vasilius. Just Cashel pulling up and hitting the jump shot. Srudovicius again hitting a big three-pointer. Just get the feeling right now watching this game, it's going to be Juventus Utena's night. They just seem to be making the important plays, whereas Telenet Oostende are not. Now that was a 2-pointer. We thought that at first it was a 3, but in fact you saw with that highlight that it was a 2. And back now, Šulskas takes the 3 and misses.
inside, and the foul called on the block before the shot. And the inbounds. So really, it's a 10-point lead. Long way to go here. And Djordjevic is going to put it off the back of the rim. He really hasn't gotten it going tonight offensively. Entry pass into the corner from Best, and it is no good. And Kurija with the rebound. And Kurija for three, and no good. And Kestelut follows. Bukicu follows. Bukicu again gets the ball. And now he's going to go up, and he's going to miss again. And looks over, apologizes to his coach, Georgia. And now the pass out on the perimeter. Best saves it, and the ball goes off of Diggs. And now the foul called in the backcourt by Bichkauskas. So Corey Walden in the game. And gets it over to Djordjevic. Looks to make the pass, and wow, the long hook shot from Bukicu. How about that? Little jump hook. Foul out on the perimeter. Djordjevic picks it up. Costa Rica likes the position his team is in right now. Diggs. Inbounds it to Shepakaitis. Gives it back to the point guard. And now the quick hands almost. They come up with a steal. They had Shulskas wide open out on the wing. If they could have made that pass. There's 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sirudavicius back in the game. Shulskas gets inside, puts up a tough one, and he scores. Bounce pass, and it goes to Walden, and now he scores with the reverse layup. Walden now with 9 points. Djordjevic cuts, nope. I was going to say cuts off the penetration. Now Best out on the perimeter, and Bukicu, good job rebounding in there. Wasn't really in position. Now quickly over to Walden. Plenty of time, just under 7 minutes remaining. And it goes, and Kurija, they get it to Bukicu, and Bukicu will go to the line for a couple. So Best picks up his first foul. And Bukicu goes to the line. Well, good minutes from Bukicu. Both free throws are good. Now Parker coming back in, inserted into the game by Sharika for Best. That gets it back to a 6-point deficit. Plenty of time. Diggs goes in, scores with the drive. Now the reach and the steal by Diggs. He's going to take it all the way, and he's going to miss incredibly. That little extra effort by that Belgian defense hustling to get back, and then the rebound, and that could be a big play. Certainly has helped their cause. Telenet Oostende. Kurija inside, and Djordjevic's pass. He led Bukicu too much. And Georgia upset. His team just not turning on all cylinders offensively. Katic comes back into the game for Bukicu. Katic playing D. Now Chepakaitis drives in, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Katic. 11 seconds on the shot clock. 5:44 remaining. Juventus Utena on top by 8. Diggs pulls up for the mid-range, and good job by Kurija to get the rebound. Drives in. Oh, nice play by Katic. I'll tell you what, instead of settling for the jump shot, drive. And that's exactly what Katic did. I think he learned his lesson when he went down and sat down on the bench for a few minutes after getting an earful from Georgia. Now Šulskas looks to make the killer pass. Almost turns it over. Rudavicius. Shot clock winding down to 4. Diggs gets in, puts it up, a tough one. Šulskas gets the offensive rebound and a new 14. Well, it's been a big part of the game, the rebounding for Juventus Utena. And they hit Chepakaitis, who goes in for the dunk. What a play. Great find by Šulskas, who quite possibly is the MVP of the game. Look at this. Draws the defense, and nobody dropped down to help out with Chepakaitis rolling to the basket.
We have 4 fouls to spend now. Every pick and roll, empty side. We need to have a last man first through.
That's interesting stat, isn't it? 36 points off the bench for Telenet Oostende. 18 for Juventus Utena.
Okay. In offense. Calm down. And next thing, hey.
Look at the 7 second chance points, and that's the difference in the game. 9 second chance points for Juventus Utena, none for Telenet Oostende. And it's an 8-point lead. To Katic as we get to crunch time here. Djordjevic drives in, puts up a very difficult shot. I just can't understand how that shot is even attempted. And the reach, Katic almost gets the steal. Diggs pulls up for 3. Good! Well, it went from getting a potential steal to a 3-pointer.
from Diggs. And that's kind of how it's been going tonight. Juventus Utena now with an 11-point lead. Kesselut. Walden fouled. That's foul number 4 on Juventus Utena here in the quarter. Sarudavicius, guilty, picks up his first personal. So Oostende will be going to the line the rest of the way when they're fouled. And Telenet Oostende have yet to commit a foul. Cachel's coming back into the game. Kesselut goes out. Pass. Now Cachel has it. And Katic fakes, and he earns the trip to the line because his defender, Chepakaitis, took the pump fake. And really, if you're Chepakaitis there, you just give him the jump shot. You don't have to come out and get out of position and commit the foul. Well, nevertheless, Katic has to go to the line and make the free throws. And Katic at the line tonight has made 1 of 2. But what it does as well is it stops the clock, and that helps Telenet Oostende. If he makes both free throws, maybe they can set up a press, and he gets both of them to go in. Now back to a 9-point game. Shareka. Schulskis drives in, passes it back out to Diggs. Best goes baseline, and now Gillet commits the foul. And Wayne is still watching from the bench. I think he might be coming back in. 9-point lead, and Djordjevic picks up another foul. I think if you were going to talk about the mindset of both of these teams before the game, you'd have to say that there was a little bit more focus for Juventus Utena than there was from Oostende. And it's really come home to roost here against Telenet Oostende. And Diggs loses it. Vasilius tried to salvage a shot from that and don't think he got it off in time. So it's a 9-point game. Still time for Telenet Oostende, but they've got to get stops and they've got to score. Might they get Pierre-Antoine Gillette open for a 3? Cachel comes out. Now Katic. And Walden drives in, puts up a runner. Katic there for the follow, and he makes it. A chance for a 3-point play. Now, since coming back into the game, Katic has been much better. Look at this. Gets the offensive glass, and he will go to the line. And it's an important free throw coming up for him as Ovidius Galdikas comes back into the game for Parker. And Katic doesn't make the free throw. And alley-oop pass! And they fell asleep inside. Katic with Galdikas coming in. And it's back to a 9-point lead. And they're guarding the 3-point shooters. Well, Gillet finds a little bit of space, puts it up off the back of the rim. And now Diggs has it, and it's going to be awfully difficult for Telenet Oostende from this position. Juventus Utena have just played with far more determination, focus, and now an unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Gillet. And Juventus Utena just a minute and 50 seconds away from beating this Telenet Oostende team for the second time this season. And you can see why a little bit of frustration with Telenet Oostende, with that being called an unsportsmanlike. But Vasilius nevertheless goes to the line and makes the first. So they will take the free throws, and then they will have possession. Vasilius makes just one of two. Hasn't been Gillette's night tonight. He fouls out of the game. 10-point lead. Still not impossible for Telenet Oostende. They've got to get stops and they got to make shots. Will they deliver the hammer blow? And they do! Galdikas goes in for another alley-oop slam. And timeout has been called. No, in fact, a timeout has not been called. Well, they have not contained that pick and roll and also the dump down low to the big man all game long. Newbill puts up a three. Walden sneaks in, gets the offensive rebound. He gets inside, puts it up, and misses the layup, follows up his miss, and Vasilius comes away with it. Well, Juventus Utena, they took it on the chin last week at Strasbourg, but right now they're closing in on victory. Diggs, a little bit of shake and bake. Kadic battles Galdikas with the rebound. A minute remaining. Offensive rebounds have been owned by Juventus Utena. And Newbill reaches up, knocks it out of bounds with 1 second on the shot clock. Another look at the alley-oop. Fans loving that. And Šolskas puts up a three, and he got the rim. Well, they got a shot off. Look at you with the rebound over to Walden. Time is, the clock is the enemy. They got to get it going. Walden puts up the long jumper, and it's good, but that was only a two. Gets it back to 10. Some forlorn looks on the faces of the Telenet Oostende players. Well, this is a Juventus Utena team that's feeling much better about themselves this week than last. You got to put the disappointments behind you, and you've got to move on. And that's what they've done. 12 steals for them in the game, just 9 for Telenet Oostende. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this. That was Telenet Oostende lost on defense, and Galdikas just going in for the easy one. And that was another with the two guys teaming up together. They were loving it. So Vasily is told to get back behind the line. Diggs gets inside and turns it over. Or does he? Yes, he does. Buchiku has it. Brings it across midcourt. Bounce pass
And Courage goes up for the dunk. And it's back to 8 points. And Walden's going to reach in and foul. Well, the pass almost went out of bounds, but Diggs was able to get it. And Walden commits the foul on Diggs. Well, it's going to be a long trip back to Oostende, Belgium, as Telenet Oostende count the cost. They've got back to 500. Now they're going to be under 500 in the group. But the good news for them really is that there are a lot of games still to be played in the regular season as they try to get into the top 4. You see Cashel gets a little bit angry over there on the bench as this Telenet Oostende team realizes probably this one is gotten away from him. Well, they've had a couple of results that have kind of raised eyebrows. That away from home, Telenet Oostende. So they lost their first one at KK Mornar 74-72. Then they lost by 10 at 6 Strasbourg. Then they won at Citygas Avellino. So they have come up with a big win on the road. And they're actually trying to get their second win on the road tonight. But they're coming up short here against Juventus Utena. Well, Diggs has quietly had himself a very nice game tonight. 7 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. He's also got a steal. He's just got 3 turnovers. Kestelut. And here is Diggs at the line. So he's had a nice game overall, Diggs. Now he's got 8 points. So this is an interesting stat line. 8 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. And if he makes this, he'll have 9 points. And he does. An efficiency rating of 13. Schulskis has the highest of 18, plus 18. Walden explodes, gets blocked, and Diggs puts up a long one, and he was blocked by Cashel. So, Juventus Utena, the job is done. They win it 81-71 as the coaches shake hands. They improve to 6-3. Telenet Oostende, they drop to 4-5. Juventus Utena ended up shooting 45% inside the arc. They had a lot of joy at the line, making 21 free throws, 75%. Look at the rebounds. I mean, that is a testament to the desire, they say, the offensive rebounds especially. And you heard Schulskis talk about a good team win. And now Sarek is going to step in there and tell a joke. And they're loving it. He's a joker. 16 points for Schulskis, led the way. Can't say enough about the job Chepakaitis did tonight. He was terrific. Well, in fact, Diggs turns out now, so he finished with 9 points. Well, they had 11 rebounds. On my count, he had 9, but anyway. Very impressive performance from Diggs. Schulskis there, the 16 points, 5 of 9, the 2 steals. And now it's selfie time. You mind taking a photo? This is what it's all about. If you're a player of a basketball Champions League club, you want to go bond with the fans, don't you? And this is what they're doing. And he even shows them how to work the phone, the camera. He can do it all. He's versatile.
So here's some of the second half highlights. And it was touch and go, really. It was for pretty much through the late in the third quarter, and then a little run. Remember, Telenet Oostende got to within one, and they could have taken the lead. They missed. Srudovic went the other way and hit a three-pointer. Now this was Mwema hitting the long jump shot. I would say probably tonight he and Walden were the best players for Telenet Oostende. Mwema 7 points, 2 rebounds, had 3 blocks, 3 steals. And those 3 blocks and 3 steals tell you all you need to know about what he brought to the table tonight. Bukachu was pretty solid as well. 10 points, 6 rebounds, coming off the bench. And some of the starters just didn't really get the job done tonight for Telenet Oostende. Vasilius, always a workhorse. He is out there working hard. He had 13 points, 8 rebounds. And from an offensive rebound standpoint, the 4 offensive rebounds by Chepakaitis and the 4 by Galdikas led the way. Vasilius had 3 offensive rebounds. So they really came out and gave the effort on the glass. And you got to tip your hat to them, folks. You know, they had some shaky moments tonight. And the one thing that never happened to Juventus Utena was they never doubted themselves. They came out and they kept playing hard. And I think by being at home and being cheered on by the home crowd, that gave them an extra lift. But you got to appreciate the determination, and especially coming into this game on the back of 2 straight defeats. They needed to get a win in a big way. They could not afford to lose at home. Telenet Oostende, all is not lost for them. They've lost this one, but boy, have they got a huge game coming up. In fact, a couple of big games. They're at home next week to SIG Strasbourg, and then they're at home to Cidigas Avellino before hitting the road and playing at Iberostar Tenerife. There's Mwema. Those are 3 teams, perhaps, that are going to challenge for supremacy in the group. So really, their 3 hardest games for the rest of the way are coming up. Then they will finish at home against Megalex and at Sabona. So it's a tough road, really, for Telenet Oostende to get into the playoffs from this point, but they've got a chance. So Juventus Utena, meanwhile, they've got some games coming up as well next week. They will be on the road at Strasbourg. It's been a lot of fun, folks. Excuse me. They will be on the road at Iberostar Tenerife. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.